What's going on, everybody? I'm Primal Liquid and I'm bringing you guys another guide for Atelier Sophie 2. This time we're going to be working on the best talisman. Now, there are technically there are two different talismans we're going to make. However, one of the talismans we are going to make a third variation for. This video is specifically going to cover the Alchemist talisman, so the talisman that we're going to use on the 3 Alchemists characters. If you want to see the talisman for melee fighters, then go ahead and take a look in the description for the Atelier Sophie 2 playlist, and that will have all the videos including the fighter talisman. So, for now, let's just look at what we're going to be using. So, straight off the bat, there are a few things that we want. Namely, we want an ingot, the Okagram, max it out completely with quality and effects, so all plus 14 in stats, and then attack and speed plus 10. I would suggest using this for your traits as well, just because it's easier, and then, you know, you've always got it handy, basically. The traits we're going to be using for this particular talisman is going to be all stats power, which gives 40 stats, Dragon God Soul, which increases max MP by 100, and then Dragon God Spirit, which increases max HP by 175. However, warning, these 3 traits are not going to be the ones we use for Plocta. These are going to be the traits specifically for Sophie and Ramazel, and the reason for that is Plocta doesn't need all this HP. What Plocta needs is MP. So what I'm actually going to be doing is for Plactas, and specifically, this is only for Plocta, I will be using all stat power, Dragon God Soul, and then we will also actually be using the trait Awakened Spirit, which is Seiji's Wisdom combined with Awakening. And the reason for that is it's an extra 100 MP, so when used in conjunction with the Twilight Prism, boom, that's an extra 100% damage from that item. A heck of a lot better than, you know, just a little bit more health, which really honestly isn't needed because we'll basically be gaining an extra 800-900 health from buffs in fights anyway, just from buffing items. And if you want to see how to do that, then again, down below in the description for the Atelier 2 playlist. Right, now when it comes to the actual talisman we're going to be using for Plocta, it is going to be the Gunfighter talisman. This is going to be for all alchemists, and the reason for that is very simple, and you probably already guessed it. Look at those effects. So straight off the bat, Ice Element, 15% item damage, insanely good, like insanely good. We get a critical boost, so increases crit damage by 20%. Again, amazing buff, especially on, you know, things like items that deal massive damage. If that crits, you've just done an extra 20% damage there. It's incredibly good. And then item wait time minus 10%, so again, just shortens wait time for items by 10%. We don't really care about that because honestly, nothing's going to survive Placta's initial hit anyway. Now, the light effect is actually quite interesting, despite how it's worded. So, increases guard damage reduction by 25%. Successfully blocking an attack applies 30% item damage boost on the user. Now, initially, when I started trying this item out, I thought this was only going to be based on the Link guard. So, when you switch a character in that guards an attack, that is not true. If your character blocks an attack, even normally, you will gain this 30% damage buff. So in other words, if you stack yourself to high heavens with defensive buffs, and then you just use the block command, every time that character gets hit, that's a 30% damage buff. Now, I have no idea how many times that will stack, or even if it does stack, because when I was trying it, I was actually up against one of the EX bosses, specifically the water boss on legendary difficulty. My Plocta got hit about 6 times. I know, it was absolutely crazy. And, well, I mean, the item after that did over 1 million damage. So, I have no idea if that stacks or not, or if it's just the one-off. Right, now a few things to note. The Evening Star Piece. This is an incredibly rare item. There are only 2 ways in the game to actually get this. One is a treasure chest. However, I'm sorry, I cannot remember the location of where the treasure chest for this item was. However, you do get, I believe it's 4 of them from a treasure chest. I know it's one of the later areas, but I can't remember which one, I'm sorry. As for the other method, it is actually from the Covetous Devil. This mob is an EX mob, so it's on request only from the bar. However, once you get that request, you can go and fight it in the Eternal Sand Dunes. I beat it on Legendary difficulty, and I got 4 Evening Star PCs, ranging in quality and effects, basically. So if you need that, that's where to go. Now, let's actually do the syntheses, shall we? So again, Evening Star Talisman, I will be using the Growlia Catalyst. I know, it's a theme in these videos. We're going to turn Restricted Panel on. Now, for the actual Evening Star piece, I am going to be using specifically the one I got from the treasure chest. And the reason for that is it has the highest quality. I've not seen Covetous Devil drop a quality higher than that, so I am going to be using that one. But more than that, it has 4 effects, and it has the effects that we really want, basically. It's got 3 light elements, and it's got a light max level 2, so we're going to go with that. For the medal, we're actually going to be using the Okagrim, and this is also going to be the one with our traits on. You don't need this to have your traits if you don't want to. Just make sure one of the items you're using does have your traits on. So we're going to use that, and that has given us a nice little boost to stats straight off the bat. Now, when it comes to Horn, this is honestly entirely up to you. I'm just going to filter it by quality, and I'm just going to use this one right here because it's got lightning elements, which we are going to need, and it's good quality. So that's the one I'm going for. Now, poisons are a little bit of an interesting one. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to use a Yuctal Frog. And the reason for that is it's good lightning element. And in fact, what I'm actually going to do here is I'm just going to sort by lightning slots, because this just pushes all my frogs to the top, basically. So what I'm going to do now is we're just going to scroll through for a high quality one. Although, realistically, it doesn't even need to be high quality, so don't worry too much. And that's the one I'm going to go for. It's high quality. It's got Synth Quantity +1, and it's got a Lightning and Lightning Max Level +3 boost as well. So again, that is why we're going for that one. Okay, so now we've got the initial items chosen. What we're going to do is we're going to skip ahead to where the item is finished, all the items on the board, and then I'll work through, you know, all the extra added synthesis materials, how I did the placement, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, I will be right back. Okay, so I've got the entire grid placed here, and you might notice one thing. I have not maxed out item wait time, and there's a very specific reason for that. By which I mean, the added fuel type item that I have, I do not have any with lightning, well, lightning +3 basically. I've only got lightning max 3. So that's definitely a big mistake on my part. I really should have done more seed farming. However, all is not lost because, thankfully, it doesn't really matter. Like item wait time, it's, you know, it's not amazing, especially just 3% of it. So learn from my mistake. Make sure you have a fuel type item with a lot of light nodes, and make sure you have lightning +3. Unfortunately, I didn't. I only had fire ones, so I did the best I could, and I got to 7%. But ultimately, you know, we're just gonna have to live with it, I'm afraid. So, what extra items did I add, and how did I do this? Well, firstly, we started off with the lightning element, and the reason for that is once I got 10 links, I could then add another ingot to the Okagrim for even more stats. So once that was added, we didn't really care so much about the lightning nodes. In fact, as you'll see, I only have 4 left on the field and only 2 links. So it's not really a big deal, to be honest. After that, I focused on the water element, and the main reason for that is I needed a way to get more fire. So I actually used the heatwave water there just to give me some fire nodes. However, I did not start placing the fire right away. Instead, I actually worked on the light element so we could get another mysterious or magical ingredient, which I used the Philosopher's Stone for an extra 10 stats across the board. Once that one was done, that's when I started placing the fire elements down, and then just slowly filling in the grid as I went. For the fuel type item, as I said, I went for the magic tome page. Unfortunately, I did not have the correct item here, so, you know, please judge accordingly depending on what you have on hand. If you do not have a good magic tome page, don't worry. 7% wait time is perfectly fine. In fact, honestly, realistically, you don't even need to use the lightning effect for the Gunfighter Talisman. It's honestly pretty unneeded. Plachta's going to one-shot everything anyway. It's more a perfectionist thing. Me personally, I'm happy to do without it, so I'm just going to commence Synthesis right here. We've got as many stats on this as we can get, so now it's just a case of actually finishing the Synthesis. So, as I mentioned, my traits are going to be All-Stat Power, Dragon God Spirit, and Dragon God Soul for this one. I will end up making another one for Plachta specifically, where I will end up replacing Dragon God Spirit just for the extra MP, basically, because an extra 100 MP for Plachta is a pretty damn big deal. So, we're going to go ahead and finish the Synthesis off there. We got 3 of them. Let's see if we got a super synthesis, which we should have done. Yes, we did. So we got it to max quality. An extra 253 health, 178 MP, 98 attack, 78 defense, and 98 speed for all 3 alchemists. And of course, we got all the other effects apart from item wait time, which, you know, serves no real purpose for what we're actually going to be doing anyway. Right, let's take a look at them, shall we? And because I got 3, I don't even need to duplicate it, because I actually only need 2 of these ones. It's like we're only going to be using this on Ramsel and Sophie. We will be making another one for Plachta, as I mentioned, where we are going to be prioritizing MP. But though, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it's helped. If it has, then please be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Let me know how bad I am for not getting that final effect. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more Atelier guides. As always, everybody, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.